Hello, welcome to the AlumierMD Online Training Academy. My name is Victoria. I'm a clinical educator for AlumierMD, and in this video I will be demonstrating the Glow Peel protocol. The Glow Peel is a modified half-Jesner self-neutralizing peel made up of 7% lactic acid, 7% salicylic acid and 7% resorcinol. This is a slightly deeper epidermal rejuvenation peel, brilliant for people who indicate with acne, pigmentation, aging or rosacea. Let's begin. We start every AlumierMD facial treatment with the Purifying Gel Cleanser. We mix this with lots of water to create a nice bubbly foam. This is a soap and sulfate-free cleanser that uses coconut surfactants to foam, so it's gentle and mild on the skin whilst offering a very effective cleanse. We massage the skin thoroughly but gently as to avoid friction and heat build-up in the skin. Heat accelerates chemical reactions, so we want to keep heat and erythemic response to a minimum throughout the treatment. It's also important that we don't massage the skin for too long to lull our client into a false sense of relaxation. The Glow Peel can tickle the sensory nerve ending, so this can be quite a sensational peel. We want our patient to be awake and alert so they can tell us about the sensation that they're experiencing. We remove this cleanser with cool water and 4x4 soft gauze. Using slow sweeping movements will help to collect the cleanser as you move up the face. Swish quick movements can turn these gauze into a dishcloth type situation, and you end up moving foam around the face. So moving nice and slowly means that you keep erythemic response to a minimum whilst thoroughly cleansing the skin. If your client was wearing a heavy makeup or had a particularly oily skin, you may wish to double cleanse. But if your client has arrived wearing no makeup, one cleanse should suffice. Before you move on to the next stage, always make sure that your gloves are clean and dry. Next, we move on to preparing the skin by degreasing it with the balancing solution. Using a 2x2 rough gauze, using 2 pumps of the balancing solution, we're going to apply firm pressure starting at the forehead to remove surface lipids and cellular debris from the skin which could otherwise inhibit the penetration of the peel. I am using quite a firm pressure as I want to begin exfoliation and get a mechanical removal of dead skin. We always move the same way around the face, starting at the forehead, moving down onto the chin and jawline, following on to the nose, top lip, and then the cheeks. This is because we're moving from the most resilient to the most sensitive area of the skin. By the time I come to degrease the cheeks, this gauze will have slightly less balancing solution on it, meaning the cheeks will receive a slightly lighter exfoliation, which is good, seeing as they're so prone to vulnerability and sensitivity. If you wanted to accelerate your cellular turnover based on the Glow Peel you're performing, you could repeat the degreasing process twice. If you're going to perform the degreasing solution twice, you must wait for the dehydration to occur in between the passes. This is the only stage in the facial that you do not blot the skin. We don't want to remove the balancing solution, we want it to dehydrate, causing a nice constriction in the skin so that the face is in an optimum position to receive a peel. Ask your patient at this point of the facial or treatment how they're feeling on a scale of 1 to 10. If the client experiences a high sensation from the balancing solution, this could suggest that there's a compromised hydrolipidic barrier and you may want to adjust your Glow Peel treatment to a lighter peel. On a scale of 1 to 10, where are you on the tingle factor right now?
My forehead's around a 2.
Fine. I feel very happy to continue with the Glow Peel. So as this continues to dehydrate, I'm going to use a pipette to administer around 1 ml of the Glow Peel solution into a cup. You could use a dish or medicine cup, as long as it is clean. Be sure to replace the lid of the Glow Peel as it's in an ethanol base which will easily evaporate. Few pro tips when applying the Glow Peel. First of all, you must always keep your cup lower than your patient's face. If you were to accidentally spill the cup, it's important that the cup was to fall onto the bed and not onto your client's skin. Secondly, make sure that you never draw the brush over the client's eyes. Consider the eyes a no-fly zone. You must always move around the eyes to reach to the area of the face that you'd like to treat. The application of the glow peel is very important because this is a pass-dependent peel. This means every time the brush touches the skin, that is an application of the glow peel. One application will offer a light peel. You can apply up to 4 passes of the glow peel, which will drive this Jesna peel a little bit deeper into the epidermis. So it's important that we have the same amount on the brush every single time the brush touches the skin. To ensure equal dosing on the brush, first of all, we submerge the bristles into the solution entirely. Then tap the brush on the side of the cup until the excess product finishes running away. And then, keeping the brush very flat to the skin, pull across in a straight direction towards the hairline. Repeating this every single time that the brush touches the skin ensures that we have an equal and same amount on the brush for each application, and everywhere on the skin will receive an equal exfoliation. It's very beneficial to keep your lines straight, aiming towards the hairline instead of curving round the face, as it enables you to identify where you've been and keep a methodical action around the skin. It also helps to prevent overlapping. If you were to come down on the eyebrow in this stroke, and then when performing a stroke on the cheek, curve up, you might end up accidentally performing 2 passes in the temple of the skin here. Now, this isn't too much of an issue if you're performing 1 pass for your client, but you could perform up to 4 passes of the glow peel, which means if you did this each and every time, this area would have 8 passes of the glow peel, and that's not ideal. Make sure that you move around your client to make sure that you keep the angle of the brush correct. What we want to avoid is a 90-degree angle with the bristles like this for a number of reasons. First of all, we don't want this metal clip that holds the bristles intact to penetrate or push into the skin. Secondly, we want to make sure that the application of the peel is even, and when we start to use just the tips of the bristles like this, the application becomes streaky and there will be areas of the skin that will be missed. As this is my patient's first glow peel, I want to perform application just to the forehead and then take a moment to relax to help understand my client's sensation to this peel. Like I said, the glow peel will tickle the sensory nerve endings and clients will experience a sensation from this peel. It's very important that we use positive language around this peel whilst explaining to our patients what they're likely to expect. Some clients will experience a little tingling, but most clients will experience a nice warmth in the skin. Say, for example, you've been in the sun for the afternoon, or that type of heat that you get from a deep heat treatment. We wouldn't describe this sensation as painful, just sensational. Be sure to ask your client on a scale of 1 to 10 where their sensation is, because this will indicate any clinical endpoint for this treatment. If you ask your patient on a scale of 1 to 10 where the tingle factor is, and she says anywhere between 1 and 5, then that is an invitation to perform another pass. If your patient says 6 to 10 on the tingle factor, that is a clinical endpoint, meaning that the sensory nerve endings are indicating that the acquired or expected exfoliation has occurred, and to proceed with more passes may not have that much benefit on the skin. Because the sensation from the glow peel peaks and then troughs, it's important for us to understand what number our client will reach at the very peak of their sensation. Some clients who experience a high sensation might find it uncomfortable to have the glow peel on the whole face in one go. Other patients will want it over and done with as quickly as possible. When we understand where our client will peak, we'll be able to understand if they want us to move around the entire face very quickly or continue to work patch by patch. On a scale of 1 to 10, please could you tell me where you are on your forehead on the tingle factor?
Around 2.
Okay, and is that still climbing or has that plateaued?
It's plateaued.
Okay, do you feel like this has started to come back down from 2, or are you still at a 2 now?
I think it's starting to slowly come down.
Okay, so some clients might experience higher sensation than a 2. This isn't an indication that the peel has in any way gone deeper into the skin or that anything is going wrong. The chemical capability of the selected acids in this peel are only able to snip through the keratin bonds that keep dead skin cells attached. They are not able to dissolve entire cells or reach into the dermis, which means that epidermal rejuvenation offers a safe and effective peel. If your client is experiencing a high level, it's only their sensory nerve endings reacting to it. As my patient has experienced a 2 out of 10, I am happy to proceed quickly around the face, completing all areas, and I will almost definitely perform a second pass on the forehead. As I come to apply the solution on the chin, I revert to my dip, tap, and flat brush application. Again, I'm keeping my lines very straight. I'm not sweeping up or following the curves of the face to make sure that I don't accidentally overlap, and I can tell very clearly where I have applied the solution. I'm being very careful not to apply the peel onto the lip, as it is a mucous membrane and not epidermis. I've purposefully left a small line here which I've missed. If you feel that you've missed an application or a small part of the skin, you must dip, tap the brush again, but you may turn the bristles onto its side and apply just a small application to fill in any gaps that you've missed. It's important to create yourself natural landmarks because, as you can see, this peel dries very quickly. If in the last pass that you do on the chin and jawline finishes at the corner of the mouth and then in this little dip in the ear, you've created yourself a natural line and you know where to begin again when you come to apply the glow peel onto the cheeks. Always move yourself round your client so that you can keep the brush at a good angle. Start underneath the jawline so that you don't create a landmark or tide line or demarcation line on the jawline. And make sure that you finish right the way out in the hair, ear or headband. When applying the glow peel to the nose, it's important that we don't start at the bridge. This could cause product to pool and drip into the eyes. We come underneath the face to the corner in the middle of the nose, one either side, and then with whatever is left on the brush, pull up in between the eyebrows, being careful not to come too far onto the forehead in which we've already applied. As the glow peel is in an ethanol base, this can smell quite strong, so when applying to the top lip, ask your client to conceal her lips slightly and take a nice deep breath in. Take a nice deep breath in and just tuck your lips slightly. Lovely, and breathe out. I'm now going to come and return to the cheek. I have created myself a natural landmark from the nasolabial fold, corner of the mouth, to the dip in the ear, so I know exactly where my brush needs to start again. It's very important that you continue to dip, tap, and keep the brush flat every time that you apply the glow peel. Again, we're looking for a 2 millimeter gap in between the patient's eyelashes and the beginning application of the peel. This is to ensure that the eyelashes don't collect the peel solution and allow it to run into the eyes. Repeat on the other side. Now the glow peel has been applied to my client's entire face, I will continue to ask her on a scale of 1 to 10 how she's feeling. Please could you tell me on a scale of 1 to 10 how your forehead is feeling?
Still around a 2.
Perfect. And please could you tell me how your chin and jawline is feeling?
About a 6 or 7.
And then your cheeks and top lip?
The same thing, about a 6.
Okay, fine. We have reached the clinical endpoint for the glow peel on both the cheeks and the chin because my client has described a sensation level of 6 to 7 out of 10. However, we have not reached the clinical endpoint on the forehead, so I feel happy to apply a second pass to the forehead alone. When applying a second pass, the same rules apply. Dip, tap, keep the brush flat, keep your application lines straight, and repeat as you did before. Sensation of 6 to 10, frosting and extreme erythema are your clinical endpoints for this peel. There is a big difference between frosting and crystalline precipitate. It's important to understand which is which, as one is the clinical endpoint and one is not. Frosting is the denaturing of proteins in the skin that leads to a whitening appearance that looks like frost on the surface of the skin. This is your endpoint. Crystalline precipitate is the salicylic acid crystallizing on the surface of the skin. If you were to rub this with dry gauze or tissue, you would be able to remove this from the skin, and this is not your clinical endpoint. Because the glow peel is a modified half Jesna and contains resorcinol, it is possible to see frosting with this glow peel. Sometimes it happens in small areas, sometimes it happens in larger areas. It's not anything to worry about. As long as your patient uses the post-procedure kit, that skin will heal beautifully and your client will achieve a beautiful outcome from their peel. Please could you tell me on a scale of 1 to 10 how your forehead is feeling after your second pass?
Still around a 2.
Fine. We could apply up to 4 passes of the glow peel on the face. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to leave this application here. You could apply the glow peel to the neck as well. However you apply is up to you. You could either brush down the neck, up, or come outwards, as long as you don't overlap and you stick to only 2 passes on the neck. It's also important to note at this point that you would only perform 1 pass for a Fitzpatrick 5 and 6, and a gentle reminder that they must pre-treat with even tone, IntelliBright and a broad spectrum SPF for 2 weeks before their glow peel to suppress melanocyte activity and prevent post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. All AlumierMD professional treatments are finished with Brightening Accelerator, Recovery Balm and broad spectrum physical SPF. Because we've performed the glow peel, which is a medical modified half Jesna, we are going to apply the Brightening Accelerator, the Recovery Balm and the SPF with a brush. This is to avoid heat buildup of the skin and to keep chemical reactions down to a minimum. The heat from your hands can translate into the client's skin. Especially if you've applied 4 layers, this can feel slightly uncomfortable for your client. Try and keep your brush strokes when applying the Brightening Accelerator long and sweeping and delicate. There's nothing more irritating than these short dabs after you've had a medical peel. The Brightening Accelerator contains kojic acid, peptides and antioxidants which help to brighten the skin, heal the skin immediately after a chemical peel and prevent post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. After the Brightening Accelerator, we'll proceed with the post-procedure balm. This has specialized anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, soothing and hydrating ingredients to really help bring down erythemic response, soothe the skin and help to reduce any lingering sensation that your client might be experiencing. Some patients after the application of the Brightening Accelerator or post-procedure balm may experience a slight spiking in sensation again. This is a perfectly normal outcome as the main ingredient in both the Brightening Accelerator and the post-procedure balm, as with all products, is water. This can reactivate the salicylic acid and may temporarily cause a spiking of tingling in the skin. All AlumierMD facials are finished with broad spectrum physical SPF. These specialized zinc oxide and titanium dioxide mineral ingredients will help to protect the client's skin from photosensitivity and pigmentation in the hours after a chemical peel. It's vital you educate your client on the importance of wearing their SPF daily in between their chemical peeling treatments. The glow peel can be performed every 2 weeks for acne, every 3 weeks for pigmentation, and every 4 weeks for aging and rosacea. It's vital that your patient wear a broad spectrum each day in between their treatments. Although with the neutralized peels from AlumierMD, we would suggest using a mineral-based SPF with tint, with the glow peel, the hydration is more important than the color, so we would advise you only apply the sheer hydration untinted. After every AlumierMD professional treatment, it's imperative that you give your patient a post-procedure kit to take home. This provides 3 to 5 days of intensive skincare that will help to speed up recovery after a chemical peel. This kit contains the Sensicalm cleanser, post-procedure balm, and a broad spectrum physical SPF. If you would like any further support with the procedure for the glow peel, please get in touch with your local business development manager or regional educator who will be happy to support you further. Thank you for watching.